Hi friends, so today is April 3rd. We've had a night or so to kind of digest the fact that we're not going back to the physical school building. I feel a lot better. I connected with a bunch of friends and sort of sought out my support system, and that really helped. And I was able to talk to quite a few of my seniors and quite a few of my senior parents, and we all just sort of cried and talked and got it out and did what we needed to do. And so now we are going to move on from here. By the way, I don't normally dress like this. This is supposed to be like Quarantine Spirit Week Tacky Tourist Day. And so, yeah. Um, I'm not very good at Tacky Tourist Day, I guess. Um, so, um, you guys are supposed to be working on social studies today, and remember, next week is spring break. I hope that you are going to take an actual physical break. Like, don't do school stuff. Obviously stay quarantined, stay hunkered down, stay in your house, do social distancing, all of that kind of good stuff. I don't know about you guys, but I've started wearing a mask when I go out. I have a cloth mask that a friend of mine made for me, and so I'm wearing that when I go out, and I'm making sure to wash my hands and all of that kind of good stuff. And the main thing is I'm trying to not go out at all. So if I do go out, it's for like a run in the morning when no one else is awake, or it's a walk in the afternoon with my husband, and we stay socially distanced from everyone around us. I haven't been going to the gym. I've been working out at home, so staying connected via social media. So the reason that I bring that up is that I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about social media and about some of the effects of being in this quarantine environment, as well as how you are connecting with your friends, which is important, but also how sometimes that one-way connection can become addictive. So when you guys post content, if it's Instagram content or Twitter content or TikTok content, or whatever platform you guys have now that you're communicating with each other, and people give you one of those like stars or likes or comments or whatever it is, and it makes you feel good because people are responding to you, which we actually seek, like neurologically speaking, our brains seek that out. You need to be aware of the fact that you can sometimes get kind of addicted to that serotonin, that dopamine kick, especially now in this environment that we're in, where everything seems to be living in the not quite permanent aspect of we're in the middle of this, but we don't know what the conclusion is. So our brains are doing a stress response, like we're in a trauma response right now. Your brain is having a trauma response. And sometimes our trauma response brains want to seek out that dopamine, that serotonin, that norepinephrine, and they will do it in quick burst ways because that's what our brain is wired, is that it wants to get something quick and easy, just like we want sugar, right? So sugar is the same way. But for social media, sometimes we can overly rely on that validation, likes and comments and things like that. And when we don't get it, we feel let down and we feel depressed, and that can be exacerbated, which just means that it can be like more so, like it can be more intense in times like these when things are uncertain. So here's my advice to you. Don't overly rely on social media. Don't overly rely on posting content and then blame yourself if it's not getting you the serotonin or the likes or the comments that you normally get. First of all, it very rarely has anything to do with you. Almost always it's just the algorithm has switched. Like, the content that's seen by your friends almost always is just that the algorithm has changed around, and they do it like every week or 2 weeks or whatever it is. So it probably doesn't have anything to do with you. But secondly, it's kind of a false, remember we talked about the idea of paragon, right? And Plato's forms. So it's that false sense of identity and reality. It's not real. So what can you do to combat it? So the first thing that you can do is, one, that realm of social media is a non-physical realm. So it's like literally the Matrix. So get out into the physical realm, like go and do something physical. Go be in your yard. Go, if you got to get away from, and it, listen, I get it. Like if you need to get away from parents or you need to get away from siblings because you're going a little cabin crazy, like go sit on the porch or, go to your room and like do something physical, whether don't do a TikTok dance, like do something actually physical away from social media, away from external validation, whether that's meditation or it's weightlifting or it's just doing like 20 push-ups, and like physically name yourself and physically feel your environment. And then the other thing that you can also do is do something that is like cognitively stimulating. So for example, I'm doing jigsaw puzzles. You can also, like, I've got Jenga blocks that I've been playing with. Like, physical draw, do something that is using your body to, like, stimulate your brain. You know, like, sew. My friend has gotten back into crafting. She's sewing a lot more. She's quilting a lot more. Do something like that. And just try not to live in that realm of social media validation, because it can, especially right now when things are all weird, it can become like overly addicting and kind of suck you in. So just be careful. That's all I'm saying. I hope you guys have a great spring break. I hope you take an actual break. I am going to take an actual break. And for that reason, I am not going to have my Google Meet open. I talked to some of my teacher friends and they said that I'm falling into that workaholic thing, and that is definitely something that I do. Is the way that I validate myself in times of trauma. I am a fawn response, and so I'm gonna stop doing that. There is no need for me to sit on my computer for 8 hours a day waiting for someone to come in and ask a question. So I'm gonna stop doing that, and I'm gonna be better to myself because I'm trying to model being better to me so they can be better for you. To take a break, I'm going to be reading a whole bunch of different books, and maybe we'll do something fun when we come back, just a Zoom session or something like that. And I hope you guys have a great Friday before spring break.